Hey there, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner, your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We're a minimalist couple driven by intentional living and adventure.
Burned out from the 24/7 grind of running our business, we traded the hustle and the bustle for something more meaningful.
We parted ways with most of our belongings and moved to the coast.
Listen along as we chat about life's challenges, share inspiring stories of those who have taken big leaps to live a life outside of the norm,
and help you live with more intention and less physical and mental clutter.
Each episode is a step toward doing and being just a little bit better for ourselves and the world around us.
Life's an adventure after all. Join us for the ride.
It's the Arner Adventures podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Jerry.
And we are back for episode 169 of the Arner Adventures podcast.
This week, we are replaying one of our episodes from way back when we were just baby podcasters. It's all about 10 ways to say no.
It's something we all struggle with. Let's not kid ourselves. Setting boundaries. We may think, yeah, I've set these boundaries, and you need to actually not just set them, but stick to them. And then when it comes to the logistics of saying no to something, a person, an event, a task, a request, anything, you may feel awkward or uncomfortable.
But fear not, podcast listeners. This episode will provide you with 10 simple ways to do just that. Just say no.
Just a heads up, since this was early in our podcasting journey, you're going to probably notice a little bit of the sound quality, may not being the best in the world. We don't claim to be audio experts ever. But if you notice a little pitchiness, just know that, again, we were baby podcasters. We were doing our best. The information is the most important part.
That is right. We can only improve the more we give it our all.
That is so true.
Yeah.
So enjoy this podcast. And as always, we appreciate you being here with us.
We talk a lot on our blog about setting boundaries. We have guests who talk about how important it is to set boundaries. Shauna Knuckles was a great episode for that.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the things that is important with setting boundaries is saying no.
For sure. And we're going to link the episode with Shauna Knuckles down in the show notes. If you did not listen to that one, please do. Like our story, terrible burnout led to her being ill, and she had to learn to set boundaries and say no to things that she couldn't or did not want to do. And so a recent blog post that we just had was about saying no without hurting someone's feelings, because there's easy ways to just say no. You should be able to just say no and walk away. But a lot of us are really concerned about, how that will affect the other people. It's usually people we love who we, have trouble saying no to. So we thought, a lot of you said it's easier said than done. How do you actually implement these?
So we thought it'd be easier to actually put them into vocal statements on the podcast to have you hear them, how they sound, and how we can use them.
Yes. So we have a top 10 list, and we're going to go ahead and go through them so that you can hear how we actually do it.
Let's proceed.
So the first one is the one that is my go-to. I do it and I vocalize it. I use it in emails, texts, whatever. But my go-to is, when someone asks me something I don't want to do or can't do, unfortunately, I don't have the bandwidth for that right now. I'm happy to suggest somebody else or something else you can do, but I'm just going to have to decline. And there's something about that word bandwidth that lets people know. It's like they get this mental picture in their head that, oh, there's a lot going on, and she just can't do it. And that's usually the truth. Yeah. So that is my go-to. That's my ride or die answer when someone asks me something I can't do.
Yeah, I think that's taken a little more seriously when you throw in a word like bandwidth. Yeah. Number 2, I understand how important this is to you, and I appreciate your eagerness. However, I need to focus on my personal well-being, and I'm unable to make a commitment to it at this time.
You struggle with that one. So do you?
I did. I was trying to make a commitment to number 2, and I just,
I think when with people in your life who mean a lot to you and you're struggling, if you're just honest and you say, you know what, I understand this is important. Like you said, I understand your eagerness to get this done, but I really have to focus on my well-being, and I can't do it. And I think that at least in situations that I have struggled with, some people get it and they are like, cool, all right, I get it. Some people don't get it. And they don't even take that. And they keep asking you. And you might have to go on to other things, which we're going to get to.
Yeah. And I think if you have a service mentality, sometimes you tend to want to be of service before taking care of yourself. And honestly, the more you can take care of yourself, the better you can be of service. So
that's right.
That's how all that works. It's all about balance.
That's right. So number 3 is, I would love to help, but I'm currently prioritizing some personal projects and they are requiring my full attention. Or you can say with that, I'm just not the right fit for that project. And that kind of goes back into, I've got some personal shit going on and I can't prioritize your project, but it's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it kind of, it puts a good question there for them, but they're like, oh, well, yeah, maybe she's not the right fit. Okay. We don't want her, him, her, whatever,
him or her.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're anything like us and have a deep love for the ocean, you are a thalassophile.
Well, we've got something special for you. It's the Thalassophile Soy Candle from our collaboration with Southern Oak Artisan.
This hand-poured candle is crafted with the highest quality ingredients like all of Southern Oak Artisan's products. 100% natural soy and clean oils, completely free of toxins. You can enjoy the ambiance it creates without sacrificing your health.
I love that you said ambiance correctly.
Yeah, thank you.
The scent, it's like bringing a day at the sea right into your home. Perfect for all you ocean lovers out there.
Or should we say, thalassophiles.
But it's more than just a candle. Once it's finished burning, this adorable jar can be repurposed.
Head over to arneradventures.com/shop to get your Thalassophile soy candle and check out our other mindful wares.
And the best part, a portion of every purchase goes to support mental health advocacy groups, which you can read all about on our Mindful Wares page.
So light up your life, support a great cause, and bring a bit of the ocean's magic into your home with the Thalassophile soy candle.
Again, that's at arneradventures.com/shop. And now let's get back to the show.
So, but that works for you, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to roll on to number 4. Unfortunately, I cannot take on the entire project, but I can offer to help with a specific task or provide guidance if needed. Would that be acceptable to you?
Yeah. So with that one, I was thinking about different situations in my life where if you ask someone who knows me to describe me, one of the words they will use to describe me is that I have a lot of drive and I'm organized. That's 2 words. But those 2 words often put me in situations where they want me to spearhead a project. And lots of times I'm like, gosh, I don't mind volunteering my time. I just can't take on the whole thing. I really want to help. I really want to, I don't know. I'm thinking about like volunteering with shelters, or if you volunteer with like Dirt Day and we were Wake Forest, and it's all of a sudden I'm owning the whole event and I don't want to own the whole event. And so that's a really good situation where you say, I can't take on this whole thing, but give me a task and I'll get it done. And if you want to add in that, would that be acceptable to you? You can, or you can just leave it at that.
Well, yeah, because sometimes when people are in a bind and they really need help, and they're not trying to put one over on you, but, they might be in a bind and we have this project, would you help? And they're not giving you the full scope of it, possibly,
right?
Because they know you'd be overwhelmed. And if you do volunteer for the whole thing, the next thing they tell you is, okay, we'll be flying you to Toledo for 10 days. And then you
own the whole project.
And then, and then, boy, your whole life is flipped.
And by the way, find a team that can help you. We don't have anybody, but you're going to have to find them.
Right.
No.
Yeah. So you never know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
People mean well, but, So we're going to move on. Number 5 is, I like this one. No, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. That's just,
period.
Yeah. Period. Yeah.
I love that. It's like, if you just want to, that's really all you should have to say.
It is all you should
have to say. And I'm saying that as a person who does not leave it at that. I always talk about I have, the bandwidth thing, and I feel like I have to do a little bit more explaining, but you really don't. No, I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I know. Sometimes I can be pretty direct like that. But in certain situations, sometimes you tend to tiptoe around the straight talk. And but no, that's Well, if you can go for it, number 5
Yeah.
should be your go-to.
Well, number 6 is very similar. It's a little on the direct, but a little bit more, I guess, maybe polite. But I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to have to pass.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, that has
a little nicer, but I'll have to pass. And sometimes I don't even appreciate the offer. But right. I'm just like, I appreciate you asking me. Really, I don't. Yeah. But I'm going to have to pass.
That's like we took number 5 and it was reworked by Miss Manners.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Let's just put a little sugar coating on it and it's, basically number 5. Number 7 is, we all like the food references. I have a lot on my plate at the moment, so won't be able to take on any additional tasks.
Right. Yeah. I do like that one. And I have said that a lot. I got a lot on my plate.
A lot on the plate.
I can't do it.
Right.
But thank you for asking.
When you got a lot on your plate, you want to sit back and eat.
Lots of times you have a lot on your plate, you don't even have time to eat.
That's true.
It's like, look, are you kidding me? I don't have time to eat. I don't have time to sleep. I got a lot going on, and I cannot add your shit to this plate too.
Yeah, I got a lot on my plate.
That's getting a little harsh about it.
As much as I got on my plate, I can't get a plate out of the cupboard to eat.
I don't even have time to wash the plate I was using. God.
Yeah. It's like turning into a Seinfeld.
But here's the thing. If you don't say no and they keep asking you, don't put boundaries up, you start getting resentful of that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm saying that as someone who does it constantly.
Yeah.
The people in my life who do not take my no's, which is getting a little bit better, I start resenting them.
Right.
And then I have to get more firm to, I can't do it. Period.
Yeah. So it's better if you sort of stay ahead of those things.
Yeah. So number 8, and I have used this one to people I love. I have learned to set boundaries, and I hope you understand that I need to decline this request. Period.
Yeah.
And that usually works.
Yeah. It sounds eloquent and nicely stated.
And they're like, oh, okay, it's not about me. It's about them. Like, meaning the recipient is like, oh, it's not about me. It's not like she dislikes me or doesn't want to do something that I'm asking her. She's working on herself.
She's evolving. And there's a growth mindset to her, and they can appreciate that.
That's right.
Yeah. Moving on. Number 9. I'd love to help, but I already have something scheduled at that time.
And here's the thing. You got to make sure that you know when they're asking you for this. So if they're like, hey, I need you to do X on, I don't know, next Tuesday. You're like, great. I'm going to tell them right now. I have something going on. No problem. Yeah. But if they're like, I need you to do X, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're assuming it's next Tuesday. Oh my gosh, I have something going on next Tuesday. Oh, well, that's great because it's next Friday.
Right.
And you're like, oh crap.
You're like, damn.
So you could lead with, now when is that?
Yeah.
The schedule is really booked. I'm going to have to look at that.
Right.
And here's another caveat. If they say, I need you to help with this, or can you help with this? You can put them off by saying, you know what, when I get home, I'm going to really go through my schedule and look at it and see if I can fit it in because I have a lot going on, and I'll let you know tomorrow. And then you come home, you get the dates or whatever, and you go, oh my gosh, my schedule is so full.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to decline this.
Yeah. So what you're seeing here, folks, is a lot of personal little angles you can take to each one of these things.
That's right. It really depends on if you like to avoid or if you like to just nip it at the bud and you're like, no, I cannot do that.
Mold it into your own personality, your own mindset. And
that's right.
That's what we're talking about.
So number 10 is, thank you so much for thinking of me.
That puts the ball in your court.
But I'm unable to take on any more commitments right now.
Yeah.
I am slammed.
You've just complimented them. Thank you for thinking of me.
Thank you so much for thinking of me for that task. But gosh.
And they're like, oh, well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Boy, you really sort of have the leverage. The advantage. You have the leverage.
I'm unable to take on any more commitments right now.
There you go.
And look, anybody can throw in an I'm sorry with this. I'm so sorry, but I'm trying to get away from that.
Get away from the sorry.
Because I'm trying to get away from making myself a victim in it. Or I'm not sorry that I'm keeping my boundaries up.
Right.
It might be unfortunate for your situation that I cannot do it.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to be completely authentic here. I usually go, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to pass on that.
And there's other talent out there that they could seek besides you, probably not up to your standards or as good a talent as you, but there are other people that could probably help them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we're going to link our blog in the bottom that has this blog in more details of why you should say no. It's a really great way of taking care of yourself, a great way to set boundaries, of course, which is something I'm constantly working on, and I'm evolving every single day in it. But these are things that you really should learn how to master.
Oh, indeed. I mean, it can really make a difference, and I think you could see the results pretty quickly. And I wouldn't try to take on all of them, but pick out 3 or 4 of your favorites. If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from what we talked about, please share it with a friend.
It's a great way of supporting the podcast, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review or rating on the platform you are listening to us on.
And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That also supports us. You can always find us, the show notes, and sponsors who support the podcast at arneradventures.com.
And until next time, enjoy the journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Bye-bye.